Welcome to the Madison Motor Podcast. Today is Monday, March 4th, 2024. Today I'm going to recap the games from the weekend in college basketball, NBA, the NHL, and spring training. Look ahead to everything today. Same with soccer. Then we have golf, NASCAR, Formula One, Idol, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball because this is March. We'll go over the results from the weekend and look ahead to everything tonight. Ohio over Bowling Green 66-59. App State over Arkansas State 80-57. Manhattan over Siena 70-68. Rider over Niagara 71-61. Kennebec over Iona 82-64. Marist over Fairfield 58-55. Canisius over Mount St. Mary 61-56. Florida Gulf Coast over Jacksonville 59-57. Yale over Dartmouth 80-56. Georgia State over Marshall 82-79. Georgia Southern over Old Dominion 92-75. Brown over Harvard 79-68 in OT. North Florida over Stetson 79-59. Queens over Kennesaw State 91-82. James Madison over Coastal Carolina 86-76. North Alabama over Central Arkansas 82-78. Cornell over Penn 87-81. Princeton over Columbia 84-70. South Alabama over Yale Monroe 80-69. Lipscomb over Eastern Kentucky 81-67. Austin Peay over Bellarmine 90-87 in OT. Texas State over Troy 82-79 in OT. Louisiana over Southern Miss 77-61. Loyola Chicago over number 21 Dayton 77-72. Nevada over Fresno State 74-66. And number 22 Utah State over Air Force 72-60. Saturday, games of note. Number 18 South Carolina over number 24 Florida 82-76. Georgia Tech over Florida State 85-76. FA over Tulane 79-73. Villanova over Providence 71-60. Butler over DePaul 82-63. Colgate over Lehigh 63-60. St. Joe's over Fordham 82-69. Number 15 Baylor over number 7 Kansas 82-74. Number 13 Illinois over Wisconsin 91-83. Tulsa over Temple 72-67. Number 16 Kentucky over Arkansas 111-102. Number 6 Arizona over Oregon 103-83. Texas over Oklahoma State 81-65. LaSalle over George Washington 72-66. Duquesne over George Mason 59-51. Western Michigan over Ball State 78-76 in OT. Toledo over Buffalo 85-79. Mercer over Furman 82-75. West Carolina over Chattanooga 82-63. Number 12 Creighton over number 5 Marquette 89-75. UMass over Davidson 69-67. UTSA over SMU 77-73. Samford over the Citadel 92-80. Minnesota over Penn State 75-70. LSU over Vandy 75-61. Kent State over Central Michigan 79-73 in OT. Number 8 Iowa State over UCF 60-52. Number 9 North Carolina over NC State 79-70. Number 11 Auburn over Mississippi State 78-63. Number 25 South Florida over Charlotte 76-61. USC over Washington 82-75. Colorado State over Wyoming 70-62. St. Louis over Rhode Island 94-91. Let's see here. Virginia Tech over Wake 87-76. Iowa over Northwestern 87-80. Number 10 Duke over Virginia 73-48. Pitt over BC 90-65. Texas Tech over West Virginia 81-70. A&M over Georgia 70-56. Richmond over VCU 79-76. Akron over Northern Illinois 80-73. Milwaukee over Green Bay 90-69. Number 19 Washington State over UCLA 77-65. Cincinnati over Kansas State 74-72. Wichita State over Rice 87-66. Santa Clara over San Francisco 69-62. Penn over Columbia 84-72. Princeton over Cornell 79-77. Yale over Harvard 80-60. Xavier over Georgetown 98-93. Notre Dame over Clemson 69-62. Number 1 Houston over Oklahoma 87-85. Number 2 Purdue over Michigan State 80-74. Number 4 Tennessee over number 14 Alabama 81-74. Syracuse over Louisville 82-76. Boise State over New Mexico 89-79. Portland over Loyola Marymount 70-60. Ole Miss over Missouri, 84-78. Utah over Cal, 88-59. TCU over BYU, 87-75. Number 23, Gonzaga over number 17, St. Mary's, 70-57. UNLV over San Jose State, 68-50. San Diego over Pacific, 81-69. Grand Canyon over Stephen F. Austin, 80-58. And then yesterday, number 3, UConn over Seton Hall, 91-61. Rider over Canisius, 65-61. Valpo over Illinois State, 75-72. Northern Iowa over Southern Illinois, 82-70. Missouri State over UIC, 69-59. Indiana over Maryland, 83-78. St. Peter's over Manhattan, 89-57. Quinnipiac over Siena, 71-57. Mount St. Mary's over Niagara, 91-72. Iona over Marist, 71-64. North Texas over East Carolina, 84-69. KC over Oral Roberts, 71-54. Drake over Bradley, 74-66. Indiana State over Murray State, 89-77. Ohio State over Michigan, 84-61. Belmont over Evansville, 83-66. Memphis over UAB, 106-87. Nebraska over Rutgers, 67-56. And Colorado over Stanford, 81-71. All right, tonight, 7 o'clock, ESPN. Number 10, Duke at NC State. My line is Duke, 6.7, total 147 and 7/10. And it is Duke, 5.5, total 149.5. Slight under. All right, ASUN first round, ESPN Plus, Jacksonville, Kennesaw State. In case you missed it, projection, Kennesaw State, 7.1, total 153.5. And it's 3.5 and 147.5. Ooh. Over. Yeah, now we're actually making like an ATS spread or total pick. And on ESPN Plus, Queens FGCU, ASUN first round. Mine's Gulf Coast 5.8 total 151 and a 10th. And it's 4.5 and 154.5. Under. All right, 7:30, NC Central, Morgan State. My line is NC Central 2.25, so 145.5. And it's 4.5 and 149.5. Under. Delaware State, Howard. My line's Howard 5.1, total 145 and 4/5. It is 4.5 and 143.5. Slight over. Maryland Eastern Shore, Norfolk State. My line is Norfolk 13.75, so 137 and 7/20. And it is 13.5 and 135.5. Slight over. SC State, Coppin State. My line is SC State 7.4, total 138 and 7/20. And it's 7.5 and 135.5. Over. Southeast Louisiana and Incarnate Word. My line's Southeast Louisiana 7.3 to 145 and a 5th. And it's 4.5 and 143.5. I'm going to lay the points. Nichols and Northwestern State. My line is Nichols 4.8 to 147 and 9/20. And it's 1.5 and 142.5. Over. 8 o'clock, Lamar and A&M Commerce. My line is Lamar 1.6, total 48 and 7/10. It's 4.5 and 144.5. Over. Next up is New Orleans and A&M Corpus Christi. My line is Corpus Christi 11.7, total 48 and 3/20. And it is 14.5 and 154.5. Under. Houston Christian McNeese. My line is McNeese 21.5, total 147 and 19/20. It's 27.5 and 153.5. I'm going to take Houston Christian to cover. Northern Colorado, Northern Arizona. My line is Northern Colorado 1.5 to 152 and 3/10. And it's 3.5 and 154.5. Under. Alcorn State, Texas Southern, 8:30. My line is Texas Southern 5.1, total 43 and a 10th. It's 4.5 and 138.5. Over. Florida A&M and Southern. Mount Southern 15.1, total 52 and 11/20. And it's 10.5 and 137.5. Over. Jackson State, Prairie View A&M. My line's Jackson State 4.6, total 45 and 7/10. And it's 3.5 and 143.5. Over. Bethune Grambling. My line is Grambling by 9, total 39 3/4, and it's 5.5 and 135.5. Over. All right, game of the night, 9 o'clock, ESPN, Texas, Baylor. Mine's Baylor 4.7, 248 and the 20th. And it's 6.5 and 145.5. Over. Weber State, Montana State, ESPNU. My line is Weber State by 5, 244 and 7/20. And it's 2.5 and 143.5. I'm going to lay to 2.5 with Weber State. Idaho State, Montana. My line is Montana 11.3, 244 and 2/5, and it's 7.5 and 141.5. I'm going to take Montana minus the points. Eastern Washington, Sacramento State. My line is Eastern Washington 10.5, 145 and a 10th, and it's 8.5 and 143.5. Lay the points on the road. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, Idaho, Portland State. My line's Portland State 9.3, 141 and a 5th. And it's 5.5 and 138.5. I'm going to lay it a 5.5 with Portland State. Okay, NBA. We will go over the results from the weekend, and tonight we have a smaller window of games. All right, Friday. Cavs over the Pistons, 110-100. Sixers over the Hornets, 121-114. Celtics over the Mavs, 138-110. Warriors over the Raptors, 120-105. Blazers over the Grizzlies, 122-92. Kings over the T-Wolves, 124-120 in OT. Pelicans over the Pacers, 129-102. Bucks over the Bulls, 113-97. And the Clippers over the Wizards, 140-115. Saturday, Nuts over the Hawks, 114-102. Heat over the Jazz, 126-120. Blazers over the Grizzlies, 107-100 in OT. Nuggets over the Lakers, 124-114. LeBron hit 40K points. Rockets over the Suns, 118-109. And then yesterday, Sixers over the Mavs, 120-116. Celtics over the Warriors, 140-88. Clippers over the T-Wolves, 89-88. Magic over the Pistons, 113-91. Knicks over the Cavs, 107-98, pretty much without Jalen Brunson. Raptors over the Hornets, 111-106. Spurs over the Pacers, 117-105. And the Thunder over the Suns, 118-110. All right, today's game, 7:30, Grizzlies Nuts. My line is Brooklyn by 8 3/4. Total 222 and 7/10. And it's 9 210. Over. 8 o'clock NBA TV, Clippers Bucks. Mine's the Bucks 1.5, total 234 1/4. And it's 5 227. Over. That's low for that game. Blazers T-Wolves. My line is the T-Wolves 19.5, total 221 3/10. And it's 14 211.5. Over. 9 o'clock Wizards Jazz. Mine is the Jazz 7 1/4, total 238 3/5. And it's 6.5 and 238.5. Slight lean Jazz. 10 o'clock Bulls Kings. My line is the Kings 6 1/4, total 230 and 9/20. And it's 7 and 227.5. I like the over in that one as well. And last but not least, 10:30 NBA TV, Thunder Lakers. My line is the Thunder by 2, total 234 and 3/5. And it's Lakers by 1, total 238.5. I'm going to go with the under in that game. Now move on to the NHL. We will recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. And then we'll recap the rest of the weekend as well. Friday. Coyotes over the Sens 5-3. Caps over the Flyers 5-2. Ducks over the Devils 7-4. Or 4-3. I don't know where I got 7-4 from. Saturday, Jets over the Canes 5-3. Panthers over the Red Wings 4-0. Oilers over the Kraken 2-1. Blues over the Wild 3-1. Preds over the Avs 5-1. Sabres over the Golden Knights 7-1. Leafs over the Rangers 4-3 shootout. Lightning over the Habs 4-3 shootout. Flyers over the Sens 4-2. Isles over the Bruins 5-1. Blue Jackets over the Blackhawks 5-2. Stars over the Sharks 3-2 shootout. And the Flames over the Pens 4-3. And then yesterday, Coyotes over the Capitals 5-2. Kings over the Devils 5-1. Jets over the Sabres 5-2. Wild over the Sharks 4-3. Canucks over the Ducks 2-1. And the Oilers over the Penguins 6-1. All right, only 6 games tonight. 7 o'clock. The game of the night. Panthers-Rangers from the Garden. If I had to guess the line, I'd say the Rangers are like minus, a little less than minus 120, maybe like minus 115. The Panthers are minus 105. Let's see. The Panthers are actually favored, minus 118. The Rangers are minus 102, over under 6.5. Overs plus 112, unders minus 140. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 2.2. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 250. That's crazy. The Florida's favored on the road. Like, is Jonathan Quick playing? I don't understand why the Rangers aren't favored here. This is going to bite me in the ass, but I'm going to be, call me Homer girl, but I'm taking the Rangers. I haven't took them in a while, and they shouldn't be an underdog here at home. Bruins-Leafs, probably the best rivalry game on the board. Leafs minus 132, the Bruins are plus 110, over under 6.5, overs plus 102, unders minus 124. Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 225, Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 184. I'm going to go with the over. Blues-Flyers. Flyers minus 134, Blues plus 112, over under 5.5, overs minus 140, unders plus 114. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 220, Flyers minus 1.5 is plus 180. I'm going to go with the Blues on the road, plus 112. Golden Knights, Blue Jackets. Vegas minus 184, Columbus plus 152, over under 6.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 130, Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 156. I'm going to lay it with Vegas on the road, the puck line. 9 o'clock, Blackhawks, Avs. Avs minus 40, Blackhawks plus 360, over under 6.5. Overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is plus 146. Avs minus 1.5 is minus 176. I like the over at plus money. And last but not least, 9:30, Kraken, Flames. Flames minus 137, Kraken plus 114, over under 5.5. Overs minus 122, unders even money. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 225. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 184. I'm going to go with the Kraken on the road at plus 114. Now we'll recap those spring training games from the weekend and look ahead to today's spring training games. Friday, O's over the Braves 3-1, Twins over the Red Sox 5-3, Astros over the Nats 10-8, Marlins Phillies 6-6 tie, Cards over the Mets 3-2, Tigers over the Phils 4-2, Pirates over the Rays 12-8, Cubs over the White Sox 10-6, Royals over the A's 5-4, Giants over the Rangers 11-5, Angels over the Padres 5-3, Brewers over the Padres 4-3, Rockies over the Mariners 10-9, Yankees over the Jays 8-4, D-backs over the Reds 12-8, Dodgers over the Guardians 6-4. Saturday, O's over the Yanks 3-2, Red Sox over the Rays 3-2, Phils over the Twins 3-2, Pirates over the Tigers 7-3, Astros over the Cards 7-1, Red Sox over the Nats 4-2, Braves over the Jays 6-2, Marlins over the Mets 4-1, Rangers over the White Sox 14-3, Dodgers over the Cubs 8-5, Royals over the Guardians 13-12, Padres over the Giants 3-2, Angels over the D-backs 4-1, Rockies over the Reds 10-4, Dodgers over the Brewers 11-3, and the A's over the Mariners 12-8. And yesterday, O's over the Pirates 5-2, Braves over the Phillies 3-2, Tigers over the Yankees 7-2, Rays Twins 4-4 tie, Red Sox over the Blue Jays 3-1, Astros over the Mets 5-2 and 6, Royals over the Reds 7-3. Cubs over the Guardians 5-3. Dodgers over Rockies 7-4. Giants over the Guardians 6-5. A's over the Rangers 5-2. Angels over the White Sox 3-1. Brewers over the D-backs 10-4. Padres over the Mariners 12-4. Marlins Cardinals and Marlins Nats postponed. All right, 1 o'clock, Braves Twins, Red Sox Tigers, Twins O's, Pirates Rays, Cards Nats, Phils Jays, 3 o'clock Angels Rangers, D-backs White Sox, A's Reds, Cubs Padres, not Pirates, Giants Rockies, and 6:30 Yanks Marlins. Okay, now move on to soccer. We will recap the weekend's action and look ahead to everything going on today. We'll start with MLS. I finally posted the predictions show that we recorded last week. So Saturday, Minnesota Columbus 1-1 Salt Lake over LAFC 3-0. Miami over Orlando 5-0. Vancouver Charlotte 1-1 draw. Cincy over Chicago 2-1. CF Montreal over Dallas 2-1. Red Bulls over Houston 2-1. KC Philly 1-1 draw. St. Louis over NYCFC 2-0. Colorado Nashville 1-1 draw. Portland DC United 2-2 draw. Galaxy over San Jose 3-1. And Seattle Austin 0-0 draw. So a lot of draws. And then Toronto over New England 1-0. Premier League. Saturday, Brentford Chelsea 2-2 draw. West Ham over Everton 3-1. Fulham over Brighton 3-0. Newcastle over Wolves 3-0. Nottingham Forest loses to Liverpool 1-0 at home. Tottenham over Crystal Palace 3-1. Aston Villa over Luton 3-2. And then yesterday, Bournemouth over Burnley 2-0 and Man City over Man United 3-1. All right, today 3 o'clock, you have Sheffield United and Arsenal. Arsenal's probably a huge favorite on the road. We'll see. Yes, minus 700. Sheffield's 15-1. The draw 7-1. We're going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 102. La Liga. Friday, Celta Vigo over Almeria 1-0. Saturday, Sevilla over Real Sociedad 3-2. Real Cadiz 1-1 draw. Getafe Las Palmas 3-3 draw. Valencia Real Madrid 2-2 draw. Sunday, Villarreal over Granada 5-1. Atletico over Betis 2-1. Mallorca over Girona 1-0. Athletic Barcelona 0-0 draw. And then today at 3 o'clock, you have Osasuna and Alaves. Alaves is 13th and Osasuna is 11th, so they're close in the standings. Osasuna is plus 35. Alaves is plus 240. The draw's 2-1. I'm going to draw 2-1. That's an easy pick. Bundesliga, Friday. Freiburg, Bayern 2-2 draw. Saturday, Frankfurt over Heidenheim 2-1. Dortmund over Union Berlin 2-0. Mainz Gladbach 1-1 draw. Augsburg over Darmstadt 6-0. RB Leipzig over Bochum 4-1. Stuttgart over Wolfsburg 3-2. And then yesterday, Leverkusen over Cologne 2-0. And Hoffenheim over Bremen 2-1. All right, CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup. Saturday, Canada over Costa Rica 1-0 in additional extra time on a goal by Evelyn Vaines, 104th minute. Brazil over Argentina 5-1. Mexico over Paraguay 3-2 yesterday. And U.S. over Colombia 3-0. The semifinals will be Wednesday, Canada against the States and Brazil against Mexico. And then the Friday will be on Sunday, the 10th. Serie A. Friday, Milan over Lazio 1-0. Saturday, Udinese Salernitana 1-1 draw. AS Roma over Monza 4-1. Torino Fiorentina 0-0 draw. Yesterday, Verona over Sassuolo 1-0. Cagliari over Empoli 1-0. Frosinone Lecce 1-1 draw. Bologna over Atalanta 2-1. And Napoli over Juventus 2-1. And then today, 2:45, you have Inter Milan and Genoa. Inter's minus 460, Genoa 7-1. The draw's plus 490. We are going under 2.5 goals at plus 106. League 1. Friday, Monaco PSG, no draw, so best bet lost. Lille over Reims 1-0 Saturday, and Marseille over Clermont 5-1. And then yesterday, Toulouse over Nice 2-1, Brest over Le Havre AC 1-0, Montpellier Strasbourg 2-2 draw, Metz over Nantes 2-0, Lorient over Rennes 2-1, and Lens over Lyon 3-0. Liga MX. Friday, Athletic St. Louis over Puebla 4-0, Santos over Querétaro 1-0, Mazatlan over Necaxa 2-1. Saturday, Toluca over Tigres 2-1, Pachuca over Juarez 3-2, Cruz Azul over Guadalajara 3-0, and America over Atlas 5-1. And then yesterday, Monterrey over UNAM 3-0. At the time of recording, Tijuana Leon 0-0 draw. Dutch Eredivisie. Friday, NEC FC Volendam 5-2. Saturday, Go Ahead Eagles over RKC Waldwick 1-0. FC 20 over Vitesse 2-1. Sparta Zanzibar 1-1 draw. Sunday, Ajax over FC Utrecht 2-0. Heerenveen over PEC Zwolle 2-0. PSV Feyenoord 2-2 draw. Fortuna over Swazier 5-2. Heracles Almere City 2-2 draw. Scottish Premiership. Saturday, Dundee Kilmarnock 2-2 draw. Aberdeen over Ross County 2-0. Motherwell over Rangers 2-1. St. Johnstone Livingston 1-1 draw. St. Marion over Aberdeen 2-1. And then yesterday, Hearts over Celtic 2-0. That's a surprising win for Hearts. Who are now in third in the league. Premiership doesn't play again until next Wednesday, the 13th. Women's Super League. Saturday, Man City over Everton 2-1. And then yesterday, Arsenal over Tottenham 1-0. Liverpool over Aston Villa 4-1. Brighton over Bristol City 7-3. West Ham Man United 1-1 draw. And Chelsea over Leicester 4-0. And then the ELC. Friday, West Brom over Coventry 2-1, and Saturday, Cardiff over Bristol City 1-0, Huddersfield Leeds 1-1 draw, Southampton over Birmingham 4-3, QPR over Leicester 2-1, Mill over Watford 1-0, Norwich City over Sunderland 1-0, Ipswich over Plymouth 2-0, Preston Hull 0-0 draw, Sheffield Wednesday over Rotherham 1-0, Stoke over Borough 2-0, and Swansea over Blackburn 2-1. Over the results from the Cosnigant Classic, formerly known as the Honda Classic. Your winner. Actually, it's going on right now. It says live. So, if this is your final results, we'll talk more about it on tomorrow's show. But tied for first, Chad Ramey and S.H. Kim, 7 under. Tied for third, 6 under. Andrew Novak, Austin Eckert, Ryan Moore, Chasen Hadley, CAU, and Cam Young. Tied for ninth with 5 under. C.T. Pond, Brad Horschel, Sam Ryder, Nicholas Echevarria, Chandler Phillips, Bud Cawley, Evan Van Royen, Joseph Burnett, and David Skins. 18th with 4 under, Byung-Ganon, Davis Thompson, Shane Lowry, Tom Whitney, Rory McIlroy, Chris Kirk, Nick Dunlap, Matthew Pavon, Matthew Neesmith, Grayson Higo, Minwoo Lee, Carson Young, Justin Rose. Tied for 31st with 3 under, Harry Hall, Keith Mitchell, Mark Hubbard, J.B. Holmes, Jake Knapp, Doug Ginn, Peter Malnati, Martin Laird, Rio Hasatune, Tyson Alexander, Davis Lipsky, Troy Merritt, Daniel Berger, Lucas Glover, Kevin Doherty, Substraka, Ben Silverman, and Chris Crawford. Tied for 49th with 2 under, Hayden Buckley, Corey Connors, Kyagu Lee, JT Potson, Piano Vegas, Robert Brandby, Hassar, Justin Sue, Ben Coles, Jimmy Stranger, Rico Hoey, John Kim, Ryan Fox, Parker Cootie, Adam Schenk, Alexander Zork, Denny McCarthy, Cam Champ, Tom Kim, Alex Aren, Ben Taylor, Robert McIntyre, Norman Zong, Victor Perez, Joe Highsmith, Braden Shattuck, and Alejandro Tosti. Tied for 76 with one under Callum Tarrant, Ben Martin, Matthew Wallace, Matt McNeely, Francisco Molinari, Stefan Yeager, Michael Glidgick, Max Gracerman, Grayson Sieg, Tyler Collett, Jacob Bridgman, Christian Ziedenhout, Zach Blair, Taylor Hogue, Luke List, Gary Woodland, Ricky Fowler, Matt Fitzpatrick, Alex Baddeley, Nate Lashley, Padraig Harrington, Taylor Pendrith, Paul Bargin, Chris Gotterup, and Rasmus Hojard. Tied 101st and even. Notables now: Tyler Duggan, Alex Molly, Nate Hardy, Davis Riley, Ashke Bahita, Zach Johnson, Ben Griffin, Taylor Montgomery, Joel Diamond, Lucas Hodges, Brendan Todd, Alex Benson, Scott Stallings, Ryan Headley, Ryan Garrigus, 122nd, 1 over, Justin Lauer, Victor Norman, Sanjay M, Kevin Strillman, Matthias Schmid, Scott Stevens, 129th, with 2 over, Ryan Palmer, Thomas Dietrich, Pat Gazier, Robbie Shelton, Pearson Cootie, 135th with 3 over, Matt Kuchar, Brandon Wu, Michael Kim, Brad Snecker, Dylan Wu, 140th with 4 over, Sammy Valimaki, 143rd with 6 over, Kevin Kisner and Eric Hall. All right, so that's the Cognizant Classic. NASCAR, we will go over the results from lovely Las Vegas. We'll start with the trucks. Your winner, Raja Karuth, 2nd, Tanner Ankrum, 3rd, Corey Heim, 4th, Tanner Gray, 5th, Chris Bell, 6th, Chris Neck, 7th, Matt Crafton, 8th, Zane Smith, 9th, Grant Effinger, 10th, Ty Majeski, the rest. Jake Garcia, Brett Holmes, Ben Rhodes, Connor Jones, Kyle Busch, Chase Purdy, Nick Sanchez, Stuart Friesen, Connor Mozak, Tanner Gray, Mason Massey, Lane Riggs, Lawless Allen, Daniel Dye, Thad Moffitt, Ty Dillon, Keith McGee, Bailey Curry, Spencer Boyd, David Thompson, Matt Mills, and Timmy Hill. Xfinity from Vegas, your winner. I combined the driver's part of the driver's name with winner, and it came out as Winter. Your winner, John Hunter Nemechek, 2nd, Cole Custer, 3rd, Chandler Smith, 4th, Austin Hill, 5th, Riley Herbst, 6th, Angel Allmendinger, 7th, Ryan Sieg, 8th, Sammy Smith, 9th, Brendan Jones, 10th, Justin Allgaier, the rest, Parker Kligerman, Eric Almirola, Corey Heim, Josh Williams, Haley Deegan, Anthony Alfredo, Jesse Love, Wallace Honeyman, Brendan Poole, Kyle C., Kyle Weatherman, Ryan Ellis, Jeb Burton, J.J. Yeley, Jeremy Clements, Sheldon Creed, Nick Leitz, Parker Emmerling, Garrett Smithley, Joey Gase, Blaine Perkins, B.J. McClay, T.J. McLaughlin, Dawson Cramp, Parker Retzlaff, Saja Karam, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Sam Meyer. And the Cup Series from Vegas. Your winner, Kyle Larson, 2nd, Tyler Reddick, 3rd, Ryan Blaney, 4th, Ross Chastain, 5th, Ty Gibbs, 6th, Noah Gragson, 8th, or 7th, Martin Truex Jr., 8th, Denny Hamlin, 9th, Joey Logano, 10th, William Byron, the rest, Daniel Suarez, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones, Carson Hocevar, Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alec Bowman, Daniel Hemrick, Josh Berry, Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek, Ryan Preece, Todd Gilliland, Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, Justin Haley, Dawson Krause, Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, Kaz Gralla, Corey LaJoie, Chris Bell, J.J. Yeley, Bubba Wallace, Zane Smith, and Chris Buescher. All right, Formula 1 started this weekend. They just raced Saturday morning at Bahrain International Circuit. That is in Bahrain. Your winner, you knew he was going to win. He's the best. Next, Max Verstappen. Coming in second, 22 seconds behind Sergio Perez. Third, with 25 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Fourth, 39 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. Fifth, 46 seconds behind George Russell. Sixth, 48 seconds behind Lando Norris. Seventh, 50 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, who switched teams during the offseason, which that was brought up in news and notes when that happened. Eighth, Oscar Piastri. Ninth, Fernando Alonso. Alonso 74 seconds behind Piastri 56. And 10th, with 93 seconds behind Lance Stroll. The rest, down one lap. Gaiano Zhu, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, and then finishing in the back with down 2 laps was Logan Sargent. Next F1 race will be the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix Saturday afternoon, so we'll touch on that on the podcast. Okay, Idol. It was an interesting episode last night. Not as many auditions as last week's episode, but we'll go over them. The first gentleman in, Max Dasher, 18 years old, from Black Mountain, North Carolina, came in with his older sister, Layla Dasher, who's 20 years old. Max performed Rock Salt and Nails by Utah Phillips, got 3 yeses in, and Layla performed Angel from Montgomery by John Prine, got 3 yeses in. Scarlett Lee, 26 years old, from London, performs Clown by Emily Sandé. She got 3 yeses in. This was somebody that went by a station name of Donahue from Winder, Georgia, 23 years old. He was a teacher, and he performed I Want You to Want by Cheap Trick and did not get through. Nick Connors, 22 years old, from Pasadena, Texas, performs Easy on Me by Adele, got 3 yeses in. Jennifer Jeffrey, 17, from Starkville, Mississippi, Change My Ways, which was an original. She got 3 yeses in. Then a guy named Kimmy, 25 years old, from Brooklyn, New York. He was originally from out of the country. And Kimmy performed Heal by Tom Odell, and then Love in the Dark by Adele. And then sang a song for his mom in Albania. And he FaceTimed his mom, and the mom had no idea he was performing or auditioning for Idol. And Kimmy got 3 yeses in. Anderson Pate, 20 years old, from Dalhart, Texas, Hummingbird, which was an original, 3 yeses in. And then they showed somebody with 3 no's. Then it was Nade Shakel, 22 years old, from Springfield, Massachusetts. And Nade is currently in New York. And she performed I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry. And then they made her sing Happy Birthday as like a practice. Luke was the no. Lionel and Katie said yes. I wasn't a fan of Nade. I don't think Nade will go far. She has the makings of out in the Hollywood round. CJ Rizlov, 22 years old, who lives in a school bus and travels the school bus all around the country except in the East Coast, and has a stove in there and a bed in there and everything. And then CJ performed an original, The Astronaut and the Rock Star, and got 3 yeses in. Kyra Waits, 23 years old, from Berea, Kentucky, Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin, 3 yeses in. And the last contestant was Will Mosley, 23 years old, from Hazelhurst, Georgia, performing Good for One, which was an original. And the funny thing about this one was that Lionel left mid-performance to catch a flight, and then Katie had to FaceTime him in for the verdict, And Will got 3 S's in the Hollywood. So no Idol next week. So we're not going to have Idol until St. Patrick's Day. And it looks like it's a good one. I gotta be honest, I like the performance the last 2 episodes better than this one. I like some of the people from today, like Kyra. I'm interested to see how far Kimmy goes. And I'm interested to see how far CJ goes. And then the Dasher siblings, I want to see. And Jennifer Jeffries, I think, has some potential too. But, and Scarlett Lee. I didn't mind Scarlett Lee. But I don't think Scarlett is going to go that far. I think she's a ceiling of a top 24 at best. But, like I said, I think the talent was better the first 2 episodes, and I think potentially next week the talent's going to be better as well. Now move on to the news and notes for today. So the sad news of yesterday, we lost a legend in media. Chris Mortensen passes away yesterday morning at the age of 72. ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro Mort was widely respected as an industry pioneer and universally beloved as a supportive, hardworking teammate. He covered the NFL with extraordinary skill and passion and was at the top of his field for decades. He will truly be missed by our colleagues and fans, and our hearts and thoughts are with his loved ones. But yeah, this was a sad one. I was a big fan of Mort. My memories of him would always be with him and Adam Schefter together, whether it would be Monday Night Countdown or the draft that ESPN would have the coverage for. I always thought he was good with reporting. I thought his reporting was always spot on. I think that Adam and him were very close. And Adam had a great tribute on Instagram that I want to pull up. So I'll pull that up. An absolutely devastating day. Mort was one of the greatest reporters in sports history and an even better man. Sincerest condolences to his family and all who knew and loved him. So many did. Mort was the very best. He will be forever missed and remembered. And then his personal post: from Sunday mornings to Super Bowls, from the beginning of a partnership at ESPN until the end, nobody was a better mentor or friend than Mort. As one of our coworkers remarked today, it's tough to be the biggest prankster and the most credible person in the room. And Mort was both always. There was no one as funny or as smart. He meant so much to so many, loved him and always will. So many great pictures of, I'm looking at Shefty's Instagram right now. He posted a picture of Mort and Adam's daughter, Dylan, and Dylan looks so young. Dylan's older now, obviously, and is doing sideline for Nickelodeon, but wow, she was small there. But Mort was a great guy, and thoughts and prayers go out to Mort's family, his friends, his colleagues at ESPN. I know Adam was very close with Mort. Rich Eisen was close with Mort and did a tribute. Obviously, they both were at ESPN at the same time. And a lot of these tributes for Mort have been touching, and a lot of great memories being shared by everybody. And like I said, my memories of Mort are Sunday NFL Countdown, and then like the post games on Sunday, like they'd go on after the game sometimes on Sundays, and then Monday Night Countdown, and then the draft coverage with Adam Schefter, and they'd go over all the news and notes and such. So, very sad day in the sports world. Rest in peace, Mort. Um, so, Jalen Brunson, um, left the game in the opening minute against the Cavaliers due to a knee injury. And then Tom Thibodeau said after the game it was a knee contusion. So, that stinks for Brunson. They gotta sit him against some of these bad teams if they play any bad teams down the stretch. And they need the other two guys back ASAP. Randall and OG. I have some thoughts on the Knicks, but there's a lot of stuff that I have to talk about for news and notes. And speaking of the Knicks, they actually signed Shake Milton after he got bought out, which is actually not a bad signing. I actually don't hate it for them. I thought they were in the mix for Muscala, who got bought out by Detroit, but I don't mind Shake Milton as like a couple minutes per half guy. So how about this? We saw the blowout in Boston. Steve Kerr pulled the starters in the second half. Celtics were up 82-38 at half. And then Draymond says the Warriors developed a defensive strategy 15 minutes before leaving the locker room. And then Jaylen Brown went and shaded the Warriors. Draymond revealed that strategy. LeBron James reached 40,000 points against the Nuggets. There was a big ovation from the Laker fans. And the funny thing is that Wilt made history on March 2nd as well. So that's a fun subplot there. And LeBron shared a hype video on Instagram for the basket. There were Kyrie sucks chants in Boston after Celtics fans had something to say about Kyrie. There was a scuffle in the Rockets-Suns game over the weekend. Bradley Beal got ejected for shoving Jalen Green. Caitlin Clark broke the all-time scoring record. And her historic bucket, when she passed Pete Maravich, she did it from the free throw line. And then everybody was going nuts. And then Caitlin Clark saw Maya Moore. And Caitlin said that she was fangirling so hard when Maya Moore approached her. And that was cool that Maya Mark that was just really cool that Maya went and saw Caitlin. And then WNBA awards are up. Caitlin Clark's already 21-1 to win the WNBA MVP next year. She's going to get so much hype when she goes in that league. And then the Fever had a Caitlin Clark post, which was funny. Sister Jean was in the house for Loyola Chicago's win over Dayton. Bronny to wait entry in draft. As Rich Paul says, Bronny will consider specific team interest over draft position. It's funny, Bradley Beal, we talked about him getting ejected. He came back after missing 5 games with a hamstring injury. And then Scotty Barnes sustained a fracture on his left hand against the Warriors. That's not good. And then Russell Westbrook fractured his hand against the Wizards. The Minnesota Timberwolves signed TJ Warren to a 10-day deal. Nice little bench piece there. Big hockey news. Elias Pettersson, 8 years, over $88 million, 11.6 average. So good on the Canucks for locking down Patterson. And here's something surprising. Evgeny Kuznetsov from the Capitals got sent down to AHL Hershey. Kuznetsov's been terrible this season for Washington, and it's sad. And we'll see if he reports to Hershey or not. But if he does, I think that could boost his confidence a little bit and to get himself back up to the Caps. The big baseball news from the weekend is that the Giants signed Matt Chapman, 3 years, $54 million. Decent signing for them. Big upgrade to their offense, and they're also very much in on Blake Snell. Ooh, maybe Blake Snell wants to go over to play for Bob Melvin. And I'm surprised a lot of the former Padres didn't go to the Giants to follow Melvin already. Ronald Acuna had an MRI over the weekend, expected to be ready for season despite irritation around meniscus. Not ideal. Johnny Manziel to boycott Heisman as he won't participate in ceremonies until Reggie Bush gets award back. Wow. Jaden Daniels not testing as he opts out of measurements for the combine. Iowa State gambling charges dismissed as prosecutor determines agents unlawfully monitored Iowa State's athletes' gambling activities. TCU coach rips college football proposal as Sonny Dykes calls out preposterous auto buys for SEC and Big Ten in 14-team format. I don't blame Sonny Dykes one bit. There was a ref replaced for a messy game as an official for Inter Miami's next game changed after a pic of him wearing a messy shirt surfaced. Oof. These are replacement refs too. And Miko Hardman rips game plan rumors as Hardman posts response to false accusations he leaked Jets plays. And then there was an unreal ending in that Madrid tied as the ref blew for FT as Bellingham headed in the winning goal and then sends him off during chaos. Oof. A big flip for Alabama. Four-star defensive lineman Antonio Coleman switched from Auburn to Bama. Trevor Etienne chased Florida as he has a blunt explanation for why he transferred from Florida to Georgia. Xavier Worthy ran a 4:21 in the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, and now he's going to talk about a first-round pick. And then J.J. McCarthy could be a top 10 pick after Combine performance. Oh, my God. I'm not a J.J. McCarthy fan. Darren Waller undecided on his future as he denies rumor that he's definitely returning to the Giants. The Giants released Mark Lewinsky, saved $5.7 million in cap space. And then they are gauging the market in free agency at guard and edge rusher. Those are two positions of need. And how about this? This year is a make or break year for Daboll as he's facing real pressure to have a good year in year 3. That must mean he's got to make the playoffs. And this is coming from The Athletic. There is pressure. That's what happens when you're in New York and you're great in year 1, you fail in year 2, and then you get that third chance. Same thing happened with Todd Bowles a couple years ago. This isn't great. Olu Fashanu is dealing with a thigh injury. Yikes. One of the big offensive linemen. Could be a top 5 pick for what we know. Joe Burrow likely cleared in May as he's on track to be cleared for contact after wrist injury. A lot of football stuff. The Commanders to cut Logan Thomas and Charles Leno, and they got to have $90 million in cap. And then New England has the most cap space after releasing J.C. Jackson, 101.6. How about this? Aaron Jones could be released, as Packers and Jones' agent are hoping to agree on pay cut over the next 2 weeks. Wow. Mike Evans to test free agency, could return to Tampa Bay but wants to explore his options. 49ers to hire Brandon Staley, as he's to get prominent role on the staff. And then they promoted Sorensen to defensive coordinator. And then Mike Evans wants to play with an elite quarterback on a contender. Sounds like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to me. How about this? Mac Jones' trade value, a 5th-round pick. That's what NFL executives believe. Yikes. The Falcons are linked to Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield. I predicted that they were going to sign Russell Wilson. How about this? Soft market for Fields, as Bears' perceived interest for quarterback change is hurting leverage in trade talks. Well, they should keep Justin Fields and trade the pick. The pick has more value than Fields. Trade the pick. I've been saying that forever now. Russell Wilson likely cut next week, as people around the league believe the Broncos are preparing to release him. How about this? The Cards may trade the number 4 pick, as the Cards are open to trading back in the draft. 4 teams linked to Fields, including the Raiders. Odell Beckham likely done in Baltimore. Michael Thomas seen as a fit. The Patriots are higher on Baker Mayfield, but the deal between the two is seen as a long shot. They should go draft. I think Baker could be next season's Daniel Jones. It was reported that the 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk could be a trade candidate if a deal cannot be reached. But they are expected to work on a deal after free agency. The Saints could trade Marshawn Lattimore, as several teams believe he's available. He is available then. Chris Jones can make $27 million plus. The feeling is if KC can offer in that range, that could help close the deal. The Patriots are eyeing Dalton Schultz. That's not surprising. The Panthers and Brian Burns halt contract talks, as potential long-term deal not currently in scope between them. Nate Wiggins was hurt running the 40, as he felt something pop in his groin. Brock Bowers did not work out. The Patriots are eyeing Jaden Daniels, as it's gained steam as the favorite to go 3rd overall. Luke McCaffrey, the brother of Christian McCaffrey, runs a 4.47 at the combine. So that's pretty cool. Everybody was watching the combine. So there you have it for news and notes. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Nothing really was exciting all to me, but one did stick out for hockey, considering their opponent I really don't trust to stay within 1 or win outright. So I'm going to lay 1.5 with the Vegas Golden Knights. Lay a 20th of a unit on it. It's plus 130. Vegas minus 1.5 at plus 130 on the road at Columbus for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at everything tomorrow. We have a portfolio pick to do as well. And keep an eye out for the conference tournament. So far we did ASUN, Patriot League, Sunbelt, and Horizon. And, of course, there's more to come. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.